In the Cambodian jungle lies a city of stone that was once the largest urban center on Earth. This wasn't just a city, it was a sprawling metropolis, an engineering marvel that tamed monsoons, and a spiritual statement that carved the Hindu cosmos into stone. This is Angkor Wat. How did the Khmer Empire build a low-density city with a spatial footprint that rivaled modern Los Angeles? And what divine secrets are hiding in its sacred geometry? We're about to explore how a civilization engineered a city for well over 500,000 people, all while creating a physical map of the heavens. For centuries, the world saw Angkor Wat as just that, a magnificent temple rising out of the jungle, the largest religious monument ever built. But the true scale of the civilization that built it was swallowed by the forest, totally hidden. That is, until archaeologists brought in Lidar, an airborne laser scanning technology that changed everything. The lasers shot through the dense jungle canopy, revealing the ghost of a colossal city that was invisible from the ground. What emerged wasn't just a temple, but a massive, highly organized urban grid stretching for hundreds of square miles. This was Greater Angkor, a sprawling, low-density city that was home to an estimated 700,000 to 900,000 people at its peak. To put that in perspective, its population was on par with ancient Rome and dwarfed medieval London. The scans revealed a meticulously planned landscape, a checkerboard of city blocks, homes built on earthen mounds, and a web of roads and canals connecting it all back to the Great Temple at its heart. The question wasn't just how they built it, but how did they sustain so many people in such a challenging tropical environment? The answer lies in their mastery of water and irrigation. The Khmer Empire thrived in a land of extremes. One half of the year brought torrential, flooding rains, and the other half brought a long, punishing drought. To build a city this big, let alone feed its people, required an almost unbelievable feat of hydrological engineering. The Khmer were masters of water. They built a massive network of canals, dikes, and most impressively, enormous reservoirs called barays. And these weren't just big ponds. The West Baray, for example, is a perfectly rectangular man-made lake, roughly 5 miles long and over a mile wide, 7.8 by 2.1 kilometers, created by piling up huge earthen embankments. This system was the empire's lifeblood. It captured and stored the monsoon rains, stopping catastrophic floods and creating a massive reserve of water for irrigating rice fields all through the dry season. This brilliant water system basically re-engineered the region's landscape, and it guaranteed multiple rice harvests a year. That agricultural surplus fed the massive population and freed up the labor needed to build these incredible monuments. But this city wasn't just a triumph of practical engineering. Its very design was meant to be a mirror of the heavens on earth. Nothing about Angkor Wat was built by chance. The entire complex is a physical, three-dimensional model of the Hindu cosmos, a universe rendered in sandstone. It's a symbolic replica of Mount Meru, the mythical five-peaked mountain that sits at the center of the Hindu universe, the home of the gods. The temple's 5 famous towers? Those are the 5 peaks of Mount Meru, the huge man-made moat that surrounds the entire complex, over 3 miles around. Isn't just for defense. It represents the mythical cosmic ocean that surrounds the world. The concentric galleries you have to walk through to get to the center symbolize the mountain ranges that circle Mount Meru. Walking through Angkor Wat is a symbolic journey. You cross the ocean, move through the mountains, and climb toward the central sanctuary, the highest tower, which represents the sacred axis of the universe itself, a connection between our world and the divine. And the higher you went, the more exclusive it got. The upper levels were reserved for priests and kings, reinforcing a social and spiritual hierarchy. Every single element was planned to create a perfect microcosm of the heavens, a sacred place where gods would feel at home on earth. This cosmic vision was all driven by one powerful idea, the Devaraja, or the God King. The ruler of the Khmer Empire wasn't just a monarch, he was considered a living god, an earthly form of a Hindu deity. Angkor Wat was commissioned in the early 12th century by King Suryavarman II to be his state temple, his spiritual home, and in the end, his tomb. By building something on this breathtaking scale, Suryavarman II was making a powerful statement about who he was. He was proving his divine connection, legitimizing his rule, and showing off his power to command the resources and manpower for a project that took decades to finish. Even the temple's orientation tells a story. Most Khmer temples face east toward the rising sun, but Angkor Wat faces west. Scholars believe this is a nod to its dedicatee, the god Vishnu, who is associated with the west. It also connects to its purpose as a tomb, since the west is the direction of the setting sun and the end of life. This was where the god king Suryavarman II would be laid to rest, his soul uniting with Vishnu for eternity. The temple was his path to immortality. But this divine story isn't just in the layout. It's carved into nearly every surface. The gallery walls of Angkor Wat are covered with almost 200 square meters of intricate bas-reliefs, one of the longest continuous carvings in the world. These aren't just decorations. They are epic stories from Hindu mythology, historical records, and spiritual lessons, all carved in stunning detail. The most famous of them all is the Churning of the Ocean of Milk. This incredible 49-meter-long, 160-foot panel shows a core Hindu creation myth. On one side you have 88 devas or gods, and on the other 92 asuras or demons. They're locked in a cosmic tug-of-war using the giant serpent king, Vasuki, as a rope wrapped around a mountain, churning the primordial sea to release Amrita, the elixir of immortality. It's a masterpiece of action, capturing the eternal struggle between good and evil. But it also carries a deeper message, that to achieve something divine, even gods and demons have to work together. Other galleries show King Suryavarman II himself, leading his armies and his court, blending myth with history and cementing his godlike status. For the Khmer people, these carvings were a visual scripture that reinforced their view of the cosmos and the divine power of their king. The Lidar scans didn't just expand the map of Angkor, they fundamentally changed how we understand it. They proved that the incredible engineering and the deep mysticism weren't two separate things. They were woven together into one unified design. The city was a perfect blend of the practical and the divine. The Great Barrays weren't just reservoirs for farming, they were also earthly versions of the cosmic ocean. The city's grid-like layout wasn't just for organization, it mirrored the ordered, geometric structure of a heavenly mandala. The roads weren't just for transport, they were ceremonial avenues connecting the world of the people to the world of the gods at the temple's center. This was a city where urban planning was an act of religious devotion. The Khmer engineers designed a world that sustained the body with water and food, while it nourished the soul with spiritual meaning. Every part of daily life, from where you built your house to how you laid out your rice fields, was connected to a larger sacred cosmic plan. The story of Angkor Wat didn't end with the fall of the Hindu Empire. In the late 12th and 13th centuries, after the capital was sacked, a new king, Jayavarman VII, dedicated the new city of Angkor Thom to Buddhism. Over time, Angkor Wat itself was transformed from a Hindu temple into a Theravada Buddhist sanctuary, which it remains to this day. Statues of Vishnu were replaced with images of the Buddha. The carvings of Hindu gods and heavenly dancers found new meaning within Buddhist practice. And this transition is what saved the temple. While the great city around it was finally abandoned in the 15th century, Buddhist monks stayed behind. They maintained Angkor Wat, making sure it was never truly lost to the jungle. It has been a place of continuous worship for nearly 900 years, a testament to its incredible spiritual power. Angkor Wat stands as a monument to a profound duality. It's a masterpiece of urban planning whose true scale we're only just beginning to grasp, and it's a sublime expression of mystical faith. It is proof of an empire that could engineer a city to control floods and feed a massive population, driven by a spiritual vision to build the entire universe right here on Earth. Today, Angkor Wat is the heart of Cambodian national identity. Its silhouette is on the nation's flag, a site of immense pride and pilgrimage, but it's also a place of enduring mystery. Questions still remain about its construction, its precise astronomical alignments, and the real reasons for the empire's decline. It stands as a powerful reminder of our capacity for genius, a stone sermon on how to blend the material and the metaphysical, forever challenging us to see the world not just as it is, but as a reflection of the cosmos. The story of Angkor is a story of human ambition on a scale that's hard to wrap your head around. If you've been captivated by this journey into ancient ingenuity and faith, make sure you subscribe to the Urban Alchemy channel and like this video so we can keep sharing stories of the world's greatest historical marvels.